Welcome to the screen demo of Eternus CS800 initial setup. Eternus CS800 is one of the most simple to use backup appliances on the market. It comes with integrated deduplication to dramatically reduce capacity demands and features integrated functions like automated replication and path to tape. This turnkey appliance utilizes a convenient web-based interface which allows you to easily configure and manage the system from a remote workstation. The following screen demo shows the initial configuration of Eternus CS800 and will give you an exemplary overview about the main steps to be performed. Setup of the IP addresses and time zone. Configuration of NAS shares. Performing these steps makes Eternus CS800 ready to receive your backup data. Furthermore, this screen demo will show you how to set up a disaster protection scenario using the automated replication functionality. After plugging in the power connection, you are ready to switch on the system for the first time. All the storage modules are pre-configured in the factory. Before Eternus CS800 can be accessed via the network, a direct connection with your notebook is necessary. Use an Ethernet cable to connect your notebook with the system. To access the Eternus CS800 Getting Started wizard, use the control panel of the Windows Start menu, go to the Network and Sharing Center, and make the following changes to the local area connection on your notebook. Choose the Internet Protocol TCP/IP and enter the predefined IP address and the subnet mask. Now the system is ready to run the Getting Started wizard. Open your web browser and type in the IP address as just defined. The Eternus CS800 login page appears. Before configuring the network, work with your network administrator to determine the network settings that will be required to properly integrate the Eternus CS800 with your existing company's network. Select Administrator and use the default password SPCC to log in. The Eternus CS800 welcome page appears. Accept the license agreement and continue to the network configuration page. Enter the following network information as provided by your network administrator in the text fields of the sector General. The host name of the Eternus CS800, the default gateway IP address, the primary DNS IP address, the DNS suffix search list. The sector IP address configuration allows you to configure the bonding details. Bonded devices are logical ports consisting of two or more physical ports of the same link speed. This information also has to be provided by your administrator. The last step of the initial configuration is the date and time setting. You can either synchronize the Eternus CS800 with an NTP time server, or you can set it manually. Continue to the Confirm Settings and Reboot page. If the settings are correct, click Finish. Otherwise, click Previous and change settings. A message appears saying that your changes will be applied and the system will reboot automatically. This was an exemplary initial setting of the Eternus CS800. Disconnect your notebook from Eternus CS800 and connect Eternus CS800 to your company network. Now you can utilize the web-based interface to configure and manage the Eternus CS800 system from a remote workstation. For example, the following shows the configuration of a NAS share. Type the IP address which was defined in the network configuration into the browser address box. The Eternus CS800 login window appears. Use the administrator login to view and change information on the Eternus CS800 remote management console. The main menu appears on the left. Click the Configuration Wizards item to open the corresponding page. The configuration wizards help you to set up the appliance. Choose the NAS wizard. It guides you through the process of adding one or more NAS shares. Select the type of hosts to which Eternus CS800 will present NAS shares. In our case, all the hosts that will interact with the Eternus CS800 run on Windows. You can use either the Active Directory or a workgroup to join the Windows network. If you select the workgroup, enter the workgroup name into the text box. Continue by defining the workgroup user and a password. Define the share name and go to the last step to review and confirm the settings. Now Eternus CS800 is ready to receive backup data via a NAS share. NAS shares on Eternus CS800 can be easily accessed. The user just needs to map the Eternus CS800 share as a network drive on the backup server using the IP address which was defined in the initial network configuration and the name of the NAS share. The login is done with the workgroup username and password. In a productive environment, it is also possible to join a Windows domain. Now the user is able to access the Eternus CS800 share. Usually your backup software will place a backup image on the share, but this demonstration shows that you could even move backup data to the Eternus CS800 by means of drag and drop. Eternus CS800 provides an automated replication functionality for disaster protection scenarios. At least 2 Eternus CS800 systems are required for such scenarios. Help is also available for the setup and configuration of the replication scenario via a dedicated wizard. Before starting the replication wizard at the Eternus CS800 source system, you should configure the target system. Enter the web-based interface of the target system and open the replication wizard. In the system settings, use the box Source Systems and type in the IP address of the Eternus CS800 that will send the replicated data to this system. The next display is about the settings of the NAS shares. Enable the checkbox in the area Receive for directory file-based replication to this system. In our example, we will ignore the following display referring to the settings of the VTL partitions. The replication settings on the Eternus CS800 target systems are done, and we can now continue with the configuration of the source system. The replication wizard will also guide you through the configuration process in the source system. Under System Settings, enter the target system IP address in the particular box. Enable the encryption functionality to protect your data on its way to the replication target. On the NAS shares page, the dedicated share that is to be the replication source has to be enabled. Rename the share for better orientation regarding the particular settings on different shares on the system. The sync ID must be identical to the sync ID of the target share on the target system. Again, ignore the VTL partitions and confirm the settings. The Eternus CS800 disaster protection configuration is complete. The data will be automatically replicated to your disaster protection site. After establishing the replication, you are recommended to synchronize the source and the target share. Open the replication display, choose the defined replication share and click Synchronize now. Wait until the job is complete. The synchronization verifies that the same files exist in both locations, and you can be sure that your data is protected even in case of a disaster. This brings us to the end of this short overview. You now have an impression of how easy the initial setup of an Eternus CS800 is. We have also showed the creation of a NAS share with just a few steps on the web-based interface and how to set up a disaster protection scenario with the Eternus CS800 replication function. As an integrated and optimized deduplication appliance, Eternus CS800 is simpler to use, more efficient to operate, and displays better results in deduplication, compared with pure deduplication software solutions in combination with standard disk systems. The web-based interface provides various wizards to ensure that setup and configuration of Eternus CS800 can be executed without high-level skills or expensive vendor intervention.